Do what it do, what it do. I'm back. Sorry, I had to take a little verification break. I don't know what happened. So basically, YouTube made me verify my identity. I had to send my ID and all type of stuff. I don't know. I'm identity verified now, so there should be no more hiccups. But yeah, I don't know what that was about. But anyway, good day, man. So we finally got to close outside this wedge right on SPY. So it's looking good, right? Do we get all time highs next week? Hopefully, man. Hopefully. But yeah, that's really all I played today. It was pretty straightforward day, right, man? Just pretty slow grind up pretty much all day, right? Bought off our levels, 746, bang, right? Yeah, I couldn't get a video out like I said the past few days, so my fault on that. But in the chat, I did go over these levels and certain things we're looking for in the watch list. And first play we took obviously was some puts off the initial rejection. How much we hit on those? Well, we swung calls from yesterday, so those were up, I think 80. Yeah, so we got an 80% on those, the swings, and we saw those earlier as a first trim. I don't remember what they ended up going to, well over 200%. Then we did some puts. We got a couple puts a few times. We played puts about twice for a nice 30, then 60, and then yeah, really just held calls all day, and we're still actually swinging some calls. So we'll see how this goes overnight. It does look good to gap up and continue, right? Like I said, if we just continue and hold over. Remember, the main levels for this week were the 748, 750. Anything below 740, all the way down to the same range. Remember, we're still inside of the June 5th candle. Still, yes. Still, we're still inside this dang candle, man, and it's frustrating. I'm hoping tomorrow's the day we break out, right? We broke out, fake, psych. Broke down, fake, psych. Broke down again, fake, psych. So hopefully, if this is a true, if we finally are getting, like I said, some sort of break from this wedge, right, we should get a nice little push, right? Even if we come up here, 748, 746, maybe retest next week and then go again, we'll have to see, right? Or if they do gap us up, we got to be very careful of them coming up here, boom, and then wicking us right back down, to give some sort of red candle like this with the upper wick, right? So, because remember, you still got to watch out because this is just a breakout, right? You don't want to get caught in a false breakout. So how we know if it's a false breakout? You're gonna have to be patient, right? You're gonna have to sit on your hands for a little bit. Main levels we're gonna use is levels we always use, right? Previous day's close, all right? PDC, it's gonna be the main level, of course, right? As long as we can hold that, get over previous day's highs, we should have very simple day, right? Push. Right, 752 to 753 right in here is going to be the main area where I will look to take off most of the swings that we got from yesterday and the ones we added on today. So if we get it, we get it. If we don't, so be it. But I would prefer us to just break the 753 and just go straight to 755, right? Come straight up here, right, to our last rejection zone, which is up here, right? But this is where we are now. So I'm like, okay, well, or this is where we will be if we hit this. So I'm like, damn. All of this, right? Because we had to break down, retest, failure, right? We got one retest, but, and then a failure again here. But this will be our first time testing it since we came back. So initially, I'm going to be looking for some sort of pullback. But as long as we hold and we don't just absolutely lose our minds and go all the way down, it should be a pretty simple day. And this is one of those days where it's like, you're buying time, right? Today was a perfect day for getting more entries, right? You had a very simple overnight gap up, and I'm so glad we got these 24-hour charts now on TradingView, so it makes everything so much easier. So we did get the breakout retest, right? Remember, we're only caring about candles opening, closing. The wicks, just grabbing some liquidity, right? Retest those same levels, breakout levels, boom, boom, boom. Breakout retest again, and then main target hit right up here, right? So didn't really do much towards the end of the day. We did take a small SPX, but it was only like 60%. Nothing crazy, but yeah, man, SPY, like I said, is gonna be very simple, right? The upper levels, like I said, above, boom, we come take out this target if we can. If not, if it's all a failure, watch for any loss below 748. We get below 748, probably right down 743, and then if tomorrow is one of those days where they hit us with something like this or something like that, then we could always come all the way back down to the 740 range, because there's major support down there, right? So nothing crazy. We're still in the middle of everything, so that does suck. GOOG not really doing anything since we got in on Monday. That's really about it, right? Got a nice little pullback failure, right, so far. And how do we know if it's a failure? Because we're right back in the range. We had the attempt. Nice little head and shoulder too. Boom, break down, right? And so we're right here at this level. So Google still has the possibility, obviously, to, just be a higher time frame breakout retest. Obviously, we don't know just yet, but if we do start to lose that low again, it was looking nasty, right? But we do start to lose that 350, right? Might be coming all the way back down. But Google's still on watch, right? Like I said, everything really has just kind of been going sideways. There really isn't much that's just been, flying. Our NVDA finally got some buyers, and we're at a nice little pullback spot, right? Retesting that 200. Remember we talked about this Monday, right? If we can just reclaim, because remember we talked about this zone. We were like, hey, this zone is from, was it last week? Let me see. Yes, see, this is the previous week zone. So we were like, hey, we can get over the zone, nice close over, right? And then now if we can get a nice close, retest over 200, maybe next week we come back up, test the 210s and 212s and so on and so forth. Meta had a nice little pop today. About time, bro. We've been kind of, remember we talked about this possibly being a double bottom on a Monday, right? Go to the weekly, right? Remember we already got our lines here. Yeah, remember we talked about possibly this being a double bottom, but we still have to see. It was a nice play, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how I missed this. Well, I do know how I missed this. It's been slow, bro. I've been taking a few trades a day and just kind of chilling, right? Taking the day off, relaxing, vibing, recharging. But yeah, that looks pretty good. Tesla ever break? All right, Tesla's still in that range. Looks good though, but remember we said we need this to break above. So once we get out of this channel, for us, let's say tomorrow we break above 420. Perfect, right? 420, boom, 430's right there. It may be, over the next weeks we do start to get a little push up. But if not, right, if we still can't close this weekly above, it might just be a breakdown retest, a little bear flag or something. So remember, got to be aware of both sides, make sure see how it's all playing out. What else? Tesla, Google, NVIDIA, Microsoft. Nah, nothing with Microsoft, still lagger. Let me see. Let me go on mine. Oh, AMD. Yeah, AMD is kind of riding that, and this is why I'm still kind of hesitant about buying up here. Right, this is that weekly trend line. I missed the buy over here, so I was like, man, I don't know. It's just been going very sideways, but still going up. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't like buying this kind of range, right? I want it to be a beautiful, just straight up type of range, right? Like this is what I want to buy into. Buying into this is very scary because at any moment this could just fail, right? And you get a nasty, nasty dump. So not really doing too much with AMD. It's already at the highs. Oh, Apple. Oh, AAPL. Wait, hold on. Oh, I'm like, hold on, am I tripping? Hold on. All right, there we go. Apple finally breaking out of this possible, everybody's talking about double top right up here. Everybody's, double top, right? Remember, we always got to wait and see. Pull this over a little bit, right over here in the zone. So, yeah, Apple's looking like it's wanting to go. Let's check the weekly real quick. Yeah, Apple looks pretty good. Get rid of all this stuff. See if we can find a target on some Apple. We did all this freehand, probably from a random video. It's always funny coming back to see how things play out, like after the fact. You're like, oh. But all right, let's see. Weekly was pretty good. All right, perfect. You already got the highs right up here. Easy work. I wouldn't go long up here. But if you have already been long, because remember, you still got to be careful because it is a possible double top, right? We don't know, right? It could just be a liquidity grab, go straight up, of course. But when you're trading, you gotta have a game plan for both sides. So if this is a trick and they do close it back below this, 308 to 312, they do close back below this, you possibly get some signs of an early double top coming on. And then if next week you lose this week's low, right? See if you can come back down and then maybe form an actual double top. But like I said, I'm not fear mongering saying it's gonna dump, but I'm just saying why I'm not going long is because I have to think about the other possibilities, right? So if you're already long, of course, take some profit at all-time highs. Ride that momentum as long as you can, right? And as soon as you start seeing them pullbacks, 30-minute pullbacks, go ahead and take that profit. But my rules. I don't like playing stuff when it's at all-time highs anyway. So let's see what else. Tesla, Meta. Let's go back to SPY real quick. Yeah, y'all know the ooh. I accidentally typed that in the chat. Y'all like my new teeth? Yeah, y'all know what's going on. But let's get back to SPY. My fault. Started to stim it for a minute. All right, yeah, weekly. This is what I'm talking about. So weekly looks absolutely gorgeous. That's why I swung calls, right? But like I said, anything's possible in this range, right? We still can't seem to get a good close over, right? Every time it's looked good, something happened, jumped to something, something's happened. It's just gone wrong. So I'm trying not to overhype myself, but this weekly does look very good. If we can just get this close above, maybe next week get a little one more dip, right? I'm looking at like long term, right? And if we do start to finally break above, the weekly close is 756. If we close tomorrow above 756, 757, that is actually a very good spot on the gamma level. So this is the center, or all the nice big gamma wall up there, like a little magnet. 756, really 757. Yeah, so really about perfect spot. Yeah, but man, yeah, if this can go, bro, and I'm so glad about the 24-hour candles now. It makes it a little easier to track it overnight. That way, if I need to adjust my charts or anything, I can just do that on the fly without having to go to use Webull anymore, or using anything else. But yeah, man, pretty much about it. So we got the close. If we can get this retest overnight, right? I would prefer us to gap up, hit the target, and then maybe come back down for retest, and then break back above, something like that. But because buying the breakout obviously is always scary, especially when you've been in the range for so long. You got a little PTSD, right? Like my brain tells me, yes, if we get up here, I want to just roll and see all-time highs. But me being realistic, I'm kind of like, nah, they're gonna trick me. You know what I'm saying? Something's gonna go wrong. So always be prepared for both sides. Remember, the first side or the first break is usually a trap, right? If you're not seeing continuation, remember down here, close and then right back in. Right? Try it again, close down here, right back in. Try to close up here, one candle, right back in. So they can just keep this going for a while, all the way up until mid-July. I hope they don't. I prefer they just get it out the way and just go ahead and give us the all-time highs. But like I said, I'm not a market maker. I don't control anything. It doesn't matter what we think. It doesn't matter what we want. But remember, it's as simple as you make it. It's as complicated as you make it. Keep it simple. Not really much going on for real. You're buying time. You're being patient. Remember how we always talked about buying time and when it's going sideways if you're looking for a move? Because if you try to just keep trying to catch every move every day, you could get caught in chop. You could get caught, in that theta, that burn. So just it's been a lot easier just buying time in this kind of market. Like I said, we bought calls down here yesterday. And just swung them, I'm like, well, we haven't really quite broken down yet. We're still just holding levels, right? Breakout, retest, higher time frame, remember? So you can't really go fight the trend too much. So breakout, retest, and then this is where we have to break. We have to break, or else it might trap, and then they double top us, right? So just be aware of both sides tomorrow. It is Friday, so I will be live trading with my group. So y'all know where to find me. Cobb's Cap. We be in here straight catching. Boys in here going crazy. Let's see. Yeah, we really been on some chill. You know what I'm saying? We've been catching some little chill moves for real. Not too crazy. In here just catching a little bankroll. Yeah. Like I said, we didn't really do too much today. Yeah. Let me see. Watch list was good. Yeah, watch list played out pretty good. So yeah, if y'all want to find me, I'm gonna be live. Like I said, live trading tomorrow in the group. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Oh, VIX real quick. Let's see. Oh yeah, VIX come back down. Yeah, so we can get VIX to just keep coming back down a little bit more. Come on, lose that. Let's actually set a little alert at this low. So if we do get it, we know to trim some calls for a little bounce. But yeah, I love the 24-hour candles now. I'm not gonna lie, this is a game changer. Man. Yeah, this is a game changer, bro. You get to see all the market moves overnight without having to switch back and forth. Yes, I love it here. But yeah, man. Let's see. Like I said, let's see how it plays out. If not, prepare for the worst. Under 748, it might dump it on us. So just be very careful, right? Always kind of side eye it. Just kind of look at it like this a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of. Because that's how most retail traders, they're impatient. So that whenever they see the first break or the first breakdown or the first this, they're instantly trying to get in. So you always got to remember that, like, are they trying to trick me? It probably is, So always expect a little trick and trap here and there, right? And you remember, just always zoom out, look at your major levels, And like I said, even if we do, because we failed here on the 748, even if tomorrow we do come back down, they still could just chop it and bring it right back up, you know? So there's no telling how this all could play out. So you have to be aware, right? And this is why I've been trading less, taking, you know, 1-2 trade. That's it. We're chilling, right? This one trade alone banked you enough. You didn't have to trade all day yesterday, right? But even if you did get back in, you could have got in on this bounce, you know what I'm saying? So there's opportunities, but they come with just patience, right? Remember, you don't have to chase this. This was chopped for a minute, right? You don't have to chase this long. Just chop for a minute. Instant moves, you know, chop. Like, don't get caught in these, you know, over trading just because you got to hit a number, a specific goal. So just be grateful that the market is giving us some better moves, man. Last few weeks, man, it's been nuts. This is disgusting work, bro. This is unethical hoops right here, bro. These are unethical hoops, man. Especially after going through just beautiful breakout, retest, breakout. This is such gorgeous money. Over here, goodness gracious. But, you know, the month's been good. We've been starting off the month with, you know, absolute bangers. So, yeah, we'll see how this plays out. Remember, yeah, previous day's close. Watch that. What was this? 748. Yeah. So really, yeah, 750. I guess obviously, you know, psychological level and everything like that. Obviously 750, but major levels to watch is just anything below 748. We lose at 748, 745, 746 probably your last hope. If it don't hold tomorrow, we just get a flush. Yeah. If tomorrow's one of those days where we just open with a nasty like attempt and then a failure, it should be an easy day to just buy some puts and hold them all day. You know, if we, like I said, if we start to get bearish underneath these levels, not just if we start pulling back, because, you know, any pullback could just get bought up, kind of like today, right? You had the gap up. First pullback, we bought puts on this, of course, we wanted to retest this level, right? The second one was a little unexpected, right? We did trim after we got high day for calls, but that random wick, thankfully, I wasn't really paying attention too much after the first two trades. I definitely would have stopped out for sure, but yeah, I was not paying attention. And remember, we only care about the candle open and close. So even though we have these lower wicks, it doesn't matter where the candle open and closed at. Opened here, closed here, opened here, closed here. So what do you have? You have a breakout, retest, continuation. Boom, more calls. Where's our target? Obviously the break of the wedge, of course. Trimmed pretty much everything once we hit this wedge, 750. So as soon as we hit that wedge, I pretty much sold everything. And now that's why I said I still have runners for next week. What do I have? Let me see. Let's see if I can pull my positions real quick. I have SPY 755 for July 13th. I think that's Monday. And then I have SPY 760s for July. What's Wednesday? 15. Yeah, 15 July. Yeah, Wednesday. So I got some. Yeah, I guess I got some runners. I got some lotto stuff like that. But we'll see how it all plays out. You know, like I said, we sold all our 752s today that we swung from yesterday. Beautiful, beautiful. Obviously, I sold them. You know, you got to see profit. You know, especially in this kind of market, you got to take it. You got to take it. So I just was like, screw it, I'm taking it. You know, still bagged a nice little 90%. I don't know what they did go to. Obviously, a number I don't want to go back and look at because I'm gonna be upset. But yeah, man, let's get this money, man. Let's continue to bag, and just be aware, right? Be aware of the traps. We've had traps down here. We've had traps up here. Traps up here. We have traps, you know. So just be aware, right? We're still on the wedge. If it does go, remember, it's going to be a very explosive move. And if it does fail, it's going to come right back down, right? And it could be a nasty move to the downside. Because, you know, fake outs, fake bullish moves often lead to very bearish moves, and then fake bearish moves often lead to very bullish moves. So we can only hope that this is the fake bearish move. You know, we're just gonna, you know, sunshine and rainbows. But like I said, we'll see how it all plays out. But yeah, keep it simple. You know, keep God first. Stay shining. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Never let them take your shine. You know what I'm saying? So fresh and so clean. I got them on both sides, but there's really no point in wearing both out here, you know? But anyway, my fault. Keep going off on tangents, but dang, pushing 20 minutes. But yeah. And hopefully YouTube stops giving me trouble, so I can't post. I don't know what's going on. I still got another video to post too. I'm gonna be posting a little strategy video. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's it. Peace.